Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. You're tuned in to EmoNews every moment online. In tonight's headlines, Dasper sashes Miss Dominica Carnival Queen Contestant Sanchia Tyson. Mass Dominic 2026 officially opened in Roseau. Women's regional cricket set for big start in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And 2 more athletes qualify as Team Dominica grows for Carifta Games 2026. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. In your blast up and rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And welcome back, everyone. Trust that you had a blessed and safe weekend. I am your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 12th of January 2026. In local news this evening, the official sashing ceremony for Miss Dominica Carnival Queen Contestant Sanchia Tyson was held with sponsor Dasper, marking a significant moment in her journey to the crown. Speaking during the ceremony, Dasper PRO and communication specialist Miss Joanne Geist expressed excitement and pride in sponsoring Miss Tyson, highlighting the organization's support for culture, empowerment, and national representation.
So, those of you who know me know that I am a pageant person and pageantry runs through my veins. So you can well imagine the excitement when I was told today that we're going to be sponsoring a contestant and it's going to be Miss Sanchia Tyson. So, this is very, very exciting. If you all can't tell from my face. So we have been doing so much this afternoon and moving around, ensuring that she is here this afternoon for the sashing because we know it came last minute. But Team Dasper was on board and we worked magic. Absolute magic today along with Sanchia's team. And let me tell you, we were like, what do you call it? Fairy godmothers this afternoon. So everything came to place. Everything is in place. So we are very, very proud. We are very elated. We are very happy to be sponsoring and supporting Sanchia on her journey to the throne. We have already manifested and claimed her as our queen 2026. Amen. So, Sanchia, we wish you all the best. And Dasper is proud and always honored to be part of our culture. I said this afternoon that, I'm becoming, here is becoming my second home now. We seem to be here a lot because we sponsor a lot. We contribute to our culture, our heritage, because that's what we are. So more than just here and Seaports Authority, we contribute and we support every aspect of our culture, and pageantry is part of that as well.
The official sashing of Miss Tyson took place shortly after, symbolizing the formal partnership between the contestant and her sponsor. In brief remarks, Sanchia Tyson shared that she was overwhelmed with gratitude for the support received, describing the moment as both humbling and motivating as she prepares for the Miss Dominica Carnival Queen competition.
Good afternoon again, everyone. I am 19-year-old Sanchia Lacey Tyson, contestant number 5, and I am from Crayfish River. Proudly representing Crayfish River, the Kalinago territory, and today I stand before you deeply honored, humbled, and overwhelmed with gratitude as I share the Dominica Air and Seaports Authority in the official facilitator of my participation in the Miss Dominica 2026 National Queen Pageant. This full sponsorship means far more to me than just support. It represents belief, trust, and confidence in my journey, and I do not take that lightly. Established in 2006 through the merger of our air and seaport services, DASPA has continued to support our culture, our heritage, and our people. DASPA is more than just a gateway to our economy and a facilitator of trade. It is a vital connection between Dominica and the world and a pillar of national development. As a young woman from the Carnival territory, this support is especially meaningful to me. It affirms that our roots matter, our voices matter, and our stories deserve to be carried proudly on national stage. I am honored to represent my community and my country with dignity and purpose. My platform, Roots and Radiance, empowering both Kalinago and Dominican women through cultural identity, reflects my commitment to honoring our heritage while uplifting women to embrace their strength, confidence, and self-worth. For this journey, I am determined to work tirelessly to ensure that our culture is respected, our women are empowered, and our traditions continue to shine. I want to assure DASPA that the Miss Dominica Committee and the people of Dominica that I will fully commit to working hard, mentally, physically, and emotionally, to grow, to serve, and to represent Crayfish River, the Kalinago territory, and the Commonwealth of Dominica with excellence, grace, and integrity. I extend my sincere thanks to the board, management, and staff of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority for believing in me and investing in my potential. Your support strengthens my resolve and inspires me to rise to this responsibility. Thank you, DASPA, for opening doors, uplifting dreams, and walking with me on this journey to Miss Dominica 2026.
Also addressing the gathering, festivals and events assistant at Discover Dominica Authority, Ogeli Moses, said the sashing ceremony represents a powerful voice for the people of the Kalinago territory. He commended DASPA for its sponsorship and continued commitment to cultural representation and inclusion.
Today, we gather to mark a proud and meaningful moment in the journey towards Miss Dominica Pageant 2026. The official sashing of Miss Sansia Tyson, contestant number 5, as Miss Dominica Air and Seaport Authority. Miss Tyson will proudly represent the Kalinago territory and the community of Crayfish River, a region rich in heritage, resilience, and culture, signifying taste of Dominica. Her selection is not just only a reflection of her personality, but also recognize the strength, history, and contribution of the Kalinago people to the Dominica's identity. Sansia, the sash represents more than a title. It symbolizes the responsibility, service, and the opportunity to be a voice for your community and for the young people across Dominica. As Miss Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, you are now an ambassador of excellence, cultural pride, and national development, values that align strongly with the mission of this esteemed institution. We commend the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority for their partnership and continued support of the Miss Dominica pageant, and for investing in this young woman who embodied leadership, confidence, and purpose. Your support strengthens the platform that allows contestants like Sansia to grow, serve, and inspire. Sansia, as you move forward in this journey, carry with you the pride of the Kalinago territory and Crayfish River, and the confidence that you are supported by your community, for your sponsors and the nation. We are confident that you will represent with dignity, intelligence, and grace. Congratulations once again on your sashing, and we wish you every success as you continue the journey towards Miss Dominica 2026 crown.
The community of Thibaud will come alive on July 25 to August 8th as they celebrate the grand reunion under the theme Honoring the Past and Rebuilding the Future. Community Coordinator Ms. Magdalene Honoré gave the welcome remarks at the official launch of the reunion on Sunday.
Reunion 2026 will be about healing past wounds, creating memories, and charting a way forward for future generations. Our goal is not just to have the one moment of celebration and rest. We want to assure you that the impact of this reunion will continue to be felt long after the celebrations are over. In other words, this reunion will have a lasting impression on the community of Thibaud. It is our expectation. The planning committee, both here and in the Florida group, have made a commitment to dedicating our time and efforts to ensure that the plans put in place meet the expectations of the community in various ways.
Ms. Makisha Letard Thomas spoke of the importance of the theme.
Honoring the past reminds us of our elders, our ancestors, our traditions, and the sacrifices that shaped Thibaud into the village that we love today. It calls us to remember our history, our culture, our struggles, and our victories. At the same time, building our future challenges us to look forward to our youth, our development, our unity, and the legacy we are creating for generations to come. This reunion is not only about remembering, it is about recommitting ourselves to the growth and strength of Thibaud.
Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, parliamentary representative for Thibaud, also gave remarks.
That brought all of us together in celebrating family, in celebrating community, in celebrating our culture, in celebrating our country. Because what the reunion does is that it invokes the positive side of us and recognizing that we have a role to play in community building. And I think this reunion will see a deeper manifestation of that reality during the course of the next weeks and months as we prepare for the Thibaud reunion.
The Prime Minister also presented a check of 30,000 EC to the committee to assist with initial costs while pledging his assistance in other areas. Committee member Keisha Remy shared some of the activities that will form part of Thibaud Reunion 2026.
This event promises 2 weeks filled with celebration, culture, and community spirit. A wonderful opportunity for all of us to come together and honor our heritage while having unforgettable experiences. We kick in the festivities on July 25th with a vibrant opening ceremony and parade, showcasing the pride and unity of our community. During this parade, we will see the representation of different groups and institutions from our community. On July 26th, we will gather for an ecumenical service, followed by a lovely family fun, perfect for meeting old friends and making new ones.
Other activities include Miss Thibaud Pageant, History and Traditional Night, Gospel Explosion, Health Symposium, Beach Picnic, and a band splash on the final night. Fête Thibaud will be observed during the reunion with Juve the following morning. The government of Dominica and Special Olympics Dominica have signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at expanding Special Olympics unified sports programs nationwide, underscoring the country's commitment to inclusion through sport. The agreement, signed between the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports, and Community Development and Special Olympics Dominica, formally brings Dominica into the Special Olympics Global Coalition for Inclusion. Dominica now becomes the 20th country globally and the third in the Caribbean to join the coalition. Under the agreement, the government will invest EC $69,000 over the next 3 years to support the program, which is expected to reach 15 schools and benefit approximately 1,000 young people. The MOU was signed by Sports Coordinator Trevor Shillingford on behalf of the Ministry of Ainsworth Irish, Director of Special Olympics Dominica. Let's hear from Ainsworth Irish.
Yes, I'm pleased to inform you that the Special Olympics Dominica and of course the Ministry of Sports signed the Global Coalition on Thursday, 8th of January 2026. And what that entails is some 16 primary schools in Dominica. They're going to participate in some unified sports between Special Olympics Dominica and these schools. And this partnership is a very significant one, as the government of Dominica has pledged some $69,000 over the last 3 years. So we had delegates from Special Olympics International, Ms. Haley Rebel, who is the Senior Director of Global Relations and, of course, the Education Policy. And she was there to witness the signing. So this is very historical, and certainly as the information unfolds, EmoNews will be getting some further insights. But this is a very good collaboration, which signals that Dominica really appreciate the fact that the Special Olympic athletes have the opportunity to be included in the activities with the normal schools. So Ainsworth Irish, as the National Director for Special Olympics, signed, and also Trevor Shillingford on behalf of the Ministry of Sports.
Also in local news, Dominica's Carnival, Mass Dominic, the Real Mass, officially opened on Saturday, January 10, 2026, with the official opening and national parade marking the formal start of the Mass Dominic 2026 celebrations. The opening ceremony began at 2:30 p.m. at Pottersville in the parking lot in front of the St. Alphonsus Catholic Church. It featured the official declaration of the Carnival season, recognition of renowned costume designer Danley Guy, the symbolic handover of the Carnival key, a ribbon-cutting ceremony, and brief remarks from key stakeholders. Following the ceremony, the streets of Roseau came alive with vibrant senses as more than 60 participating groups took part in the national parade. The showcase highlighted traditional mass, including Sensi, Kalinago Tet Mass, Big Boom Boom characters, stilt walkers, and black devils, alongside costume bands, carnival pageantry, and creatively designed floats. The celebrations concluded at 10 p.m. with performances by Triple K Band, the Calypso Truck, Swinging Stars, Rhythm Knockers, and DJ MJ and crew, bringing the opening day festivities to a lively close. And finally, on the local scene, the United States Embassy to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean hosted a cocktail party at the Fort Young Hotel on Friday. The Minister of National Security, the Attorney General, and the Financial Secretary were all in attendance, along with Fulbright scholars and other embassy programs participants over the years. Let's hear from Robert Bobby Adelson Jr., the Public Affairs Officer for the U.S. Embassy to Barbados.
Hi, I'm Bobby Allison Jr. I'm the Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy. We're based in Bridgetown, Barbados, but we cover 7 islands, including Dominica. And tonight we were able to gather folks from civil society, NGOs, government, education, and really just talk about how we can collaborate, both United States and Dominica, and learn a little bit more about your culture, learn a bit about more that we've done in the past and what we can do in the future to collaborate on economic issues, on education issues, and really just get to know folks. I'm going to be here for 3 years, and so it's exciting for me to come here and come to your island and see everything that you have, and I can't wait to come back.
How important is this collaboration
Collaboration is a big thing for the United States. So, at the embassy, the biggest thing for us is really meeting people, building partnerships, and getting to know the folks that live in the countries that we work in. And we would love to see about ways that we can work in the future. My office, Public Affairs Office, does educational and cultural exchanges, and so we're looking forward to the types of things that we can do together.
And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping, the new job started, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
And now for regional news. Prime Minister Philippe J. Pierre is urging St. Lucians to embrace unity, responsibility, and progress as the country moves toward 2026. In a New Year's national address on January 11, he thanked voters for renewing confidence in the St. Lucia Labour Party at the December 1 general election, calling the outcome an endorsement of fair, inclusive, and people-centered governance. The Prime Minister said St. Lucia has emerged stronger despite global economic challenges, citing economic recovery, job growth, and record low unemployment, while continuing to support the most vulnerable. He highlighted key achievements in healthcare, including the new St. Jude Hospital, which is expected to be fully operational in 2026, alongside expanded wellness centers and universal health care. Plans for 2026 also include major infrastructure projects, continued investment in education, and new initiatives aimed at youth development and crime reduction. On foreign affairs, Prime Minister Pierre reaffirmed St. Lucia's commitment to peace, regional cooperation, noting that no agreement has been signed with the United States regarding third country nationals, and the U.S. visa policies for St. Lucians remained unchanged. He closed by calling for national unity, responsible use of social media, and shared responsibility in building a stronger, safer, and more prosperous St. Lucia. Also, Antigua and Barbuda successfully hosted the One Nation Caribbean Music Festival over the weekend, delivering 2 dynamic nights of music, worship, and cultural unity. Night 1, branded Reggae Kingdom, set the stage for a high-energy celebration of Caribbean music, featuring some of the region's biggest names such as Masika, Caputon, Burning Flames, Tian Winter, Claudette Peters, Mr. Vegas, Christopher Martin, Grams Morgan, Shelley, and Signal Band. Night 2 featured a powerful atmosphere of worship and praise during the Kingdom of Praise all-inclusive experience, bringing together gospel music lovers for an uplifting and spiritually enriching evening. The night showcased performances by internationally acclaimed gospel artists including Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Naomi Rain, Samuel Medas, John Mark Wigan, Beverly Danvers, Richie Pell, Rashid Walker, Psalmist Robin Roxy, Madeline and Dunamis Worship, and Melanie Sandler. The festival also drew high-level attention, with Prime Minister Gaston Brown making a special appearance on stage. Dominica's own Signal Band delivered a standout performance, further energizing the crowd. The successful staging of the One Nation Caribbean Music Festival highlighted Antigua and Barbuda's growing reputation as a premier destination for major regional entertainment events. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next. And now for international news. Iran says it is ready for war if the United States steps in, as pressure mounts after a violent crackdown on anti-government protests. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Iran is not looking for conflict but warned it would respond if attacked. The comments follow a warning from US President Donald Trump that Washington is weighing very strong options. The unrest began in late December, triggered by the sharp fall of Iran's currency. A US-based rights group reports nearly 500 protesters have been killed. Iran remains under a widespread internet blackout, making independent reporting difficult. International media cannot operate inside the country, while one Iranian speaking via Starlink said the world must not ignore what is happening. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel has sharply criticized the United States, saying Washington has no moral authority to lecture Cuba on any issue. In a social media post that appeared to respond to comments from President Donald Trump, Diaz-Canel said Cuba is a free, independent, and sovereign nation and will not be dictated to. He accused the U.S. of decades of aggression, adding that while Cuba does not seek conflict, it remains prepared to defend itself. Cuba's foreign minister also weighed in, insisting the country has the right to import fuel from any willing partners despite U.S. sanctions. The exchange follows a warning from President Trump, who said Cuba should make a deal with the United States before it is too late, as Washington looks to maintain pressure in the region. And finally, on the international scene, the Golden Globe Awards were handed out Sunday night, celebrating the best in film and television. Hamnet won Best Motion Picture, Drama, while one battle after another dominated the comedy categories, including Best Picture. Jessie Buckley and Wagner Moura took the top drama acting awards, with Timothée Chalamet and Rose Byrne winning in comedy. Tiana Taylor was also among the night's winners, earning a Golden Globe for her performance. On the TV side, The Pitt won Best Drama Series, the studio took Best Comedy, and Netflix's Adolescents stood out in the limited series categories. And that's all for international news. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next. And now for the sports segment. Cricket West Indies will launch a major year for women's cricket with the CG United Women's Super 50 Cup and the T20 Blaze set for St. Vincent and the Grenadines from January 10 to February 1, 2026. Teams from across the region will compete, with the T20 Blaze played first at Annos Vale, followed by the Super 50 Cup at venues including Sion Hill and Park Hill. Defending champions Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago will look to retain their respective titles. CWI says the tournaments are key to preparing players for international duty ahead of a busy year that includes series against Sri Lanka, Australia, and a tri-nation tournament on the road to the 2026 Women's T20 World Cup. Also in sports, Team Dominica continued its strong build-up to the Carifta Games 2026 as two more athletes secured qualification spots for the regional championships. Corel Etienne qualified in the under-20 100 meters, recording an impressive time of 11.82 seconds at the 32nd Annual Pure Water JCR Danny Williams Track and Field Development Meet. Jariah Lewis also earned his place on the team after registering a remarkable 6.84 meters in the under-20 long jump at the DAA Development Meet number 2. With these latest qualifications, Team Dominica now stands at 3 athletes qualified for the Carnival Games 2026. The DAA Development Meet number 2, held on Sunday, January 11, 2026 at the Geneva Playing Field in Granby, provided another major opportunity for athletes to showcase their talent. The meet also served as an official qualifying event for the Carnival Games 2026, underscoring the importance of strong performances across all events. And finally, in the sports segment, in the Neville Pier Basketball Tournament semi-finals, the Dr. Daru Falcons secured a hard-fought win over the Paybush Eagles, finishing 72-65. Kareem Daniel led the Falcons with 24 points, supported by Ramal Carbon with 12. For the Eagles, Shama Felicity topped all scorers with 25 points, while Kaylan Paul added 16. In the second semi-final, Marigot Sunrise dominated the BAA Sharks, winning 75-34. Cody Hamlet led Sunrise with 28 points and Jamal Peltier followed closely with 25. The Sharks were led by Christian Scotland with 11 points and Kyle Scotland with 10. This victory is historic, marking the first time in the tournament's 3-year history that a Marigot team has advanced to the finals, highlighting not only national progress in basketball, but a major breakthrough for the Marigot constituency. With that being said, the finals is set for Sunday at 8 p.m., where the Falcons will take on Sunrise. Don't miss it. And that's all for the sports segment. Stay tuned for the weather report from the Dominica Met Service. And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 12th of January, 2026. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This has been Emo Nightly News, every moment online. Good night.